I'm so happy to be sitting with you today.
Thanks for having me, Hoda.
Good to see you. So we've been through many seasons in life, different seasons. How would you describe the one you're in right now?
Oh, what a great question. It's a lot. I'm not going to lie. We're managing all kinds of things at this point in our 50s. And, I've just dropped my eldest off to college. That was, emotionally charged, scary for all, but it couldn't have gone better, actually. And pressures in the workplace, meaning, like lots of responsibility. You've taken on a lot. We've learned a lot in our years, and that can be so wonderful, but it does come with pressure as well. And also, parents are getting older, and there's just a lot. But we do know how to navigate it. We need to accept that we need support.
You've got a new acting project coming up. You've got all kinds of balls in the air. How do you
spinning plates?
How do you
as my husband calls it?
How do you work on prioritizing, or how does that come to be?
Yeah, you have to compartmentalize. When you're doing one thing, try to let the other things, push them aside just for that moment, make the time and space so that you can be focused and present. And it takes a lot. You need a team of people to help, manage schedules and things like that. I'm lucky in that I love what I do. Yeah. I really am, and I think you are too. We enjoy it. And there's good people around us, and we believe in what we're doing, and it's that's comforting.
I was thinking about you, and I always look back to someone's childhood, someone who's very good at pivoting, adapting,
right?
And your childhood made total sense to me when I read about it.
Right.
I was like, okay, so you did have kind of a nomadic childhood.
Absolutely.
Your dad worked with Pink Floyd and your mom was a costume designer. And what did that mean in terms of moving around?
It meant moving around different schools, different counties, all over England, and then a country swap. We moved from England to Australia when I was 14 and my brother was 16. So absolutely needing to know how to reshape and adapt to new environments, new people.
How did you do that? Because as a teenager, or even especially as a little kid, and a teenager is even harder, what was your thing that you did so that you would fit into all these different environments?
It wasn't like a conscious thing. It just had to happen from, and I think I found my way into the right little section of people that I wanted to be around, but slowly, I'd have to watch and learn how they, what their rhythms were. And, but there were times where I felt very lonely and very much on the outside. And, especially when I moved to Australia, that was a whole new thing. I remember driving by the school that I was about to go to and seeing how the kids were dressed, and having come from England where our skirts had to be below the knee and our socks were just under the knee, and it was, and then seeing these girls with like mini skirts and hairdos,
and what's going on here?
It was a cultural shock. But I think it was a great learning in that I did know how to adapt to different environments.
And to go through your life too, without your father. And my dad passed. I was in college, so I did have him for a lot of those kind of formative years. But for a little girl who I would imagine being 7, like how did you process that? How did you?
I mean, again, there was no instructions of how to manage grief or how to adapt. It was just I learned on the way, and I didn't really know how to even talk about it. But it was defining, and it is very much a part of who I am. And if I was to go through my IMDb list of all of the films I've done, you could probably see a common thread there, and there's a lot of grief in the stories that I've been part of. And also identity is a big theme that shows up throughout my work. So those are things that I need to understand better and cope with. And but I'm as an older woman, seeing grief more, as an adult now, I feel for that little girl, you know, like I
Yeah.
can't believe how she had to deal with that.
And I think there are moments, like I remembered, it was like Father's Day or father-daughter somethings or whatever those moments were, where everyone seemed to have somebody.
Yeah.
And you look around and you realize, and you're trying to be tough, like,
Yeah.
that's okay, that's okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Like trying to navigate those times.
Yeah, and not even really having any strong memories of my father.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes that you feel like, well, who am I if I don't know who
him.
and where I come from?
Yeah.
Really,
Who raised you mostly?
my mom and also my grandmother,
Yeah.
my mom's mom,
Yeah.
who has left a lasting impact on me.
Yeah.
She's no longer with us. I lost actually both my grandmothers last year, but they had long, expansive lives. One lived to 101 and one to 99.
Wow.
And my Australian grandmother was a powerhouse. She was the matriarch of the family. My mom has 2 sisters. So I'm naturally drawn to strong women, always love, powerful women. And she was always like making us work hard. We were not allowed to sit around and read a book. I mean, I wish she had let me enjoy reading a bit more. But, there were goats to feed and chickens to clean out and, all of these things that had to be done, the chores. And, we were told, get up, off your butt.
Go.
Go.
So the work ethic, we get
The
where that
work
came
ethic,
from.
yeah.
The love of acting, when did that start? When did you think to yourself, or do you remember like when you were younger?
Yeah, but I didn't know that it was a job that I could ever have. I remember seeing my mom on stage when I was about 5 years old. I was in the front row with my grandmother. And we lived in a small town. It was called the Shoreham Players. Every festive season, Easter, Christmas, they would have like little skits or a whole play. And my mom was in this play. It was My Fair Lady. And I just remember looking at her in these costumes, beautiful costumes, and talking in a funny voice and a wig and gliding across the stage. And I was waving, trying to get my mom's attention. And of course, she's being a professional and staying focused. And but I kept going. So I guess she realized she had to just put an end to those distractions and gave me a little wink and a hand gesture. And instantly in that moment, I just remember feeling transported into this world of make-believe. Like, oh, wow, that's something that is beautiful and I want to be a part of it. I just knew.
And the industry's got all that beauty, and it also is full of rejections and not and you're not good enough.
Oh yeah,
for a
plenty
for
of
a
that.
tender-hearted kid who pursues this career. How did you develop any kind of a thick skin, or how thick of a skin did it take?
Yeah, I still don't think my skin is thick enough. Rejection is really hard. But yeah, you have to know anyone who's entering into this business, it feels personal sometimes. And I got a whole litany of different notes along the way, whether it was like not funny, not sexy, too old, too intense, too this, too that. And you're like, wounds to the heart.
Yeah.
It was a lot, but I guess practice. You just had to keep
Why
going.
did you go back?
Well, I guess I didn't know what else to do. I knew that I loved this, and I knew I have resilience, having had that childhood that we just sort of spoke about. It does grow, and you get a little bit used to it, but it's okay to be sensitive. I'm in the world of feelings, We need to know how to feel so that people can see their stories reflected through my telling.
Your big break came when you were 33, is that right?
Yeah, Mulholland Drive changed everything. It launched at the Cannes Film Festival. I got a crazy good review that made every agent come after me
There you
suddenly.
go.
Ones that said thanks but no thanks previously. And all the directors obviously the great directors saw David Lynch's new film at the time. And it really just changed the course forever.
You brought up earlier ageism, like in the rejection list of things. How did that play in your life, and how did you what do you do about that? Like, what do you do about that kind of criticism?
I think just own it.
Yeah.
Call it what it is. We are all aging. It is a privilege. Thankfully, you know, like I said, 2 grandmothers that lived such a long time. Just find out ways how to make it better. And I think making it better by opening up the conversation and saying, this is who I am. Can you deal with it? Because I'd like to still be here. Thanks.
And by the way, 50% of the population is going through or will go through what we've all gone through or are going through.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this became more than just a subject of discussion for you. You're like waving the flag. Yeah. And I think someone had to do it. It was just like one of those things. I remember being on the set of the Today Show dripping.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh my God.
And not being able to say a word.
And wanting to say, you know, what's going on here? But you're just
Give
like,
me
please,
a minute.
Yeah, you're just like, please go away. You're in the middle of talking about some serious stuff.
It's so distracting. But all you can think about is like, is everybody else watching what's happening with me?
Am I dripping right here? So why did this become something that you decided to grab the horns on? I
felt like I had come into my industry pretty late, and I think I've been a late bloomer with almost everything. But I think I knew I loved what I do and I wanted to stick around. And what's wrong with it? It's just biology. Just name it. And like you said, half the population will go through it if we're lucky enough to still be around. Why can't we talk about it? And I had moments where I thought could be a terrible idea. It could be career suicide. I could be branding myself as the old lady. Or, you know, maybe it'll be helpful to a few people. And maybe it'll be helpful for me. And maybe it'll elongate my career.
Wow.
And it turns out nobody poo-pooed it in the end.
Isn't that funny?
People actually heralded it. And because, the conversation needed to happen. It was the last one kind of left untouched. You know, and why shouldn't it be on the table with all the other awkward conversations?
Right, you know, add it to the pile.
Yeah, we need it as women. We had to talk about our periods. We had to talk about fertility and breastfeeding and, you know, all of those things. Why can't we come together and figure out ways to better understand what is going on through this period of our life?
You've got a brand new project. It is called All's Fair. The cast is incredible. When I saw the list of everyone from Kim Kardashian to Sarah Paulson,
Glenn Close, Niecy Nash, to Teyana Taylor.
I mean, it's got to be
very
good.
Dynamic
What
cast.
is this project?
This is about a team of women who are divorce lawyers. So you can imagine.
Oh,
juicy.
Is it comedy and drama? What is it?
Well, it's a bit of everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be a pop the popcorn
women
kind of
supporting
thing.
Women, but, you know, there's some bad behavior in there, too.
What does it feel like to be getting such cool roles? Like, I feel like I'm in the business of women who are, I'm 61, you're in your 50s. You know, Savannah's in her 50s. She's anchoring the show. Gail turned 70.
Yes.
She's hosting CBS. Robin Roberts is in her 60s. She's hosting. Like, look around.
Yeah. We're doing incredible things.
We're running
plus all
it.
this other stuff in the background.
Yes. We're like driving driving the boat. We're the ones in charge. So I feel like we've come a long, long way. And I love that you're talking about this one subject of menopause and perimenopause, and over here you're like, I'm very busy, I've got another project cooking. There's a lot we can do.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We're experienced as well.
Yeah.
So don't think you can just get rid of us. You need us, by the way.
Yes.
The younger generation needs us.
Yes.
So it's absolutely about leaning into it, owning your story, but it doesn't mean we don't need support.
And you talk about being a late bloomer. You've had lots of varieties of loves in your life with your kids and your kid's father and Billy now, this new season of love. How would you describe this season where you are in that aspect?
I feel really good. I feel kind of emotional at times about it because like I said, some things came on a different timeline than I imagined. But that's why I always say it's nice to have plans or timelines, but you don't have to be so fixated on them. That's what I would say to the younger women out there. Have them, but then, they can alter and, shift. It's never too late, though.
By the way,
never
that's the best line.
Yeah. And I just wrote a book.
Tell me about this book. I mean, you've talked about it, but now this is next level.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I thought about it for a long, long time. Actually, in my early 40s, when I was flailing around trying to figure out what was going on with my body, had no one to talk to, didn't even really know how to speak about my symptoms to my doctor. My doctor, it was a really difficult time, and the internet wasn't even that active back then. So I said to a friend of mine, I wish there was a book, like a handbook, some kind of guide that could walk you through it. And she was like, why don't you write it?
You're doing that.
And
wow.
I said, oh, no, don't be ridiculous. I'm not a writer. And that would be career suicide if I started telling everyone I'm in menopause, that nobody will ever hire me. So but I did keep thinking about it. And I did, like I said, it took me a long time to find my way. It's the book I wish I'd had.
Yeah.
And I finally got around to it after I turned 50, when I was allowed to be menopausal, because that's the average age. And yeah, I said, yeah, I'm just going to do it. And basically it's conversations with doctors, experts, and other women, and me telling my own story, infused with humor and facts, obviously. So, some of the books out there written by doctors are wildly informative, but this one is hopefully very palatable and an easy read.
Right, because you want to be able to read other people's stories.
Yes.
When did menopause hit for you?
Well, I was 36 when I was told that I was close to menopause, and it was the reason I wasn't getting pregnant. So it was a real shock. I mean, I was on the floor basically with panic.
Did your mom go through menopause?
I remembered when I left, I called my mom right away and said, what the hell? Why didn't you say more? But I did remember that she had told me that she went through menopause at 45. I didn't know that she had a multitude of symptoms and a lot of years leading up to those, that they were spread out over a number of years.
Yeah. And having children, what happened there?
So I tried lots of different things. Ultimately, I don't know what was the thing that got me pregnant. I guess I had 2 random eggs left over. And yeah, I just kept trying, and I wasn't an IVF candidate, but it was a lot of suffering and a lot of fear going through that. And finally, I got pregnant, and the second one came like that.
Wow. Tell me about Stripes, which is your other baby.
This was the other piece that I've been thinking about a lot, because my first really aggravating symptom, or not first, night sweats were the first, but one that really became a problem for me because of work, being on camera. I had irritable skin, itchy, dry, angry skin.
Yeah.
And the products that I was using were no longer working for me.
Yeah.
In fact, they were agitating me. So I needed to start looking into ingredients. I became very closely involved with my friend's business called Onda Beauty, and started learning about clean beauty and all these fantastic brands. But what I noticed after a couple of years there was that everyone was still promising, we can get rid of your wrinkles. It was all about anti-aging. And I felt like there's a real gap in the market for, women who want to not look 25 again. We don't want to be overpromised to either.
Good.
We don't want to suffer fools. And we want to see ourselves in the best way that we possibly can. So I wanted to create something that was targeting my symptoms, which was deeply dehydrated, and have this woman at this age feel like she's dignified, she can be celebrated, she can feel empowered with education and community, of course. And so I remember during COVID, I cold pitched the brand idea, the vision, to a biotech company, and said, "This is what I'd like to do. This woman should feel like she's earned her stripes."
Oh, I love that. I love it. I love it. Okay, so my podcast is called Making Space. So if you had a day that was all for you, okay, because I know you don't have many of these, but there's a day, Naomi, that there was not one thing on your calendar. Everything got deleted. You wake up when you want, you go to sleep when you want, and you fill the hours in between the way you like. No one's going to tell you anything. How would you fill that day?
Gosh, Only one.
You only get one. That's right.
Definitely would try to sleep in.
Yes.
And, most of the times when I want to sleep in and I've got that opportunity, it doesn't happen.
True.
But I can stay in bed.
Yes.
Coffee in bed, just start at a slower pace. And with my husband, knowing that my children, I love it when they're asleep in the house as well. Knowing where they are, having a good breakfast. I love to exercise. I really enjoy the feeling, not just for what it does to your body, but your mind obviously as well. Walking outside, nature, love that. Playing some music, maybe a little dance, good food,
Love it.
and maybe at the end of the day a celebration with. Well, it doesn't have to be celebration.
Yeah.
Just a nice dinner with friends. I
love
like
it.
to cook with friends as well, but also I like to go out to restaurants too. So that's it.
Yeah.
Really.
Would you go to bed
Simple.
early or?
I love an early
Me
to
too.
bed, early riser,
God,
early to bed.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Naomi, thank you so much. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Hoda.
it.
Thanks
Thank you.
for having me.
I love this book. Dare I say it?
Yeah, New York Times bestseller, if I may
Booyah!
flex as well.
Booyah! Flex away. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Naomi.
Thank you, Hoda.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.